Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable. The WNBA has seen a massive boost in viewership, and that's largely due to the Clark effect. Of the top 18 most-watched games this season, 16 featured Caitlin Clark. This isn't a coincidence. People are showing up to watch her play. Clark's influence is driving the league's success, while Angel Reese struggles to find her footing. Clark's connection with fans is electric, and she continues to outshine Reese in every way. The more Reese tries to compare herself to Clark, the more obvious it becomes that Clark is in a league of her own. But it's not just about individual performances, it's about the broader impact on the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has become the face of the league, drawing in new fans and significantly boosting ticket sales, TV ratings, and overall engagement. Angel Reese, meanwhile, is falling behind. Her constant focus on comparing herself to Caitlin Clark is overshadowing her game. Instead of focusing on her own performance, Reese continues to bring up Clark in interviews, podcasts, and social media posts, but it's backfiring. Fans and analysts alike are starting to see through this. Reese's attempts to stay in the spotlight by attaching herself to Clark's success are only hurting her reputation. The more she tries to tear down Clark, the more Clark shines. Caitlin Clark's dominance and the future of the WNBA. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's dominance. Clark has broken records left and right, leading her team, and she's doing it while handling immense pressure. Her ability to stay composed despite constant fouls, dirty plays, and media attention proves that she's not just a great player, she's a leader. The Rookie of the Year race, it's already over. Fans are already speculating that she could be in the MVP conversation soon. So, where does this leave Angel Reese? It's time for Reese to stop chasing Caitlin Clark and focus on her own game. The comparisons are not doing her any favors. Clark is clearly on a different level, and the more Reese tries to force the narrative, the more it becomes clear that Caitlin Clark is leading the charge for the future of the WNBA. What do you think? Is Angel Reese clout chasing by constantly linking herself to Caitlin Clark? Or is there something deeper at play? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're here for all the latest updates on the WNBA's biggest drama, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting breakdowns and updates. The more Reese tries to compare herself to Clark, the more obvious it becomes that Clark is in a league of her own. But it's not just about individual performances, it's about the broader impact on the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has become the face of the league, drawing in new fans and significantly boosting ticket sales, TV ratings, and overall engagement. ESPN has been covering her rise extensively, with some even comparing her to NBA legends like Stephen Curry for her deep-range shooting and ability to command the floor. Clark's impact isn't just changing her team, it's changing the entire league. As the Indiana Fever climb up the standings, thanks to her leadership, the Rookie of the Year race has already been decided. Angel Reese recently stirred up controversy by claiming she was being sexualized due to her public image. She pointed to her Instagram photos and even alleged that AI-generated images of her naked were circulating. But what's most surprising is her attempt to link this to Caitlin Clark.
Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked, literally.
Really?
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans.
Let's break this down. There's absolutely no connection between these issues and Caitlin Clark. This is another case of Angel Reese using Clark's rising fame to keep herself in the spotlight.
Her fans are saying this. No, I don't believe in her heart that she has hatred towards me. And I'm sure she believes that I don't have hatred towards her. But when it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like, I'm talking about people who come down to my address, follow me home. Like, it's come down to that. And like, when I talked about earlier on after the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like, I guess people thought that was like because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like, multiple occasions people have made AI pictures of me like naked, literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like, are you naked on Instagram?
Fans are frustrated. They're not just upset about the fouls. They're concerned that Clark isn't being protected as the league's rising star. Now let's get into the real tension between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. This isn't just a one-sided rivalry, it goes deep. There's Reese constantly talking about being compared to Clark, and then there's Clark, who's out there doing what she does best, playing basketball at an elite level. Even Serena Williams stepped into the conversation, showing support for Caitlin Clark. Serena praised Clark, saying that negativity stems from people who can't do what Caitlin does on the court. It's clear, Reese is chasing clout, trying to attach herself to Caitlin Clark's narrative to remain relevant. But let's be honest here, Angel Reese's jealousy of Caitlin Clark is becoming more and more obvious. Clark hasn't done anything to her, yet Reese continues to create drama around her. Why? Because Caitlin Clark is dominating the WNBA, gaining attention and changing the game. Meanwhile, Angel Reese feels left out. This isn't just about basketball anymore. Caitlin Clark is getting pummeled with brutal fouls on the court, and WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has done nothing about it. The league's reluctance to address these issues is alarming, and fans are demanding action. Meanwhile, Angel Reese keeps pushing her "they're watching me too" narrative. But here's the truth. Fans are tuning in for Caitlin Clark, not Reese. ESPN and the WNBA may try to promote both players equally, but the stats and numbers tell a different story. Caitlin Clark is the draw. Her dominance on the court and connection with the fans are undeniable. On the other hand, Reese is trying to keep up, but her attempts are falling flat. People aren't watching her. They're watching Caitlin. Even Serena Williams stepped into the conversation, showing support for Caitlin Clark. Serena praised Clark, saying that negativity stems from people who can't do what Caitlin does on the court.
What advice would you have maybe for her?
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't, what did she say? She doesn't have a social, she doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either. And I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then
It's become a battle for the soul of the WNBA. Speaking of rivalries, the WNBA is under heavy scrutiny for how it's handling these situations. Recently, Diamond DeShields committed a brutal foul against Caitlin Clark, which left fans outraged. People immediately called it a flagrant foul, but what's worse, the league barely responded. And as if that wasn't enough, DeShields faced racist threats after the incident, showcasing how divisive this situation has become. Tensions are rising, and Caitlin Clark seems to be at the center of all of it.